What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to give you 3 players that I believe deserve to make this Atlanta Falcons 53-man roster. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about 3 players that deserve to make this Atlanta Falcons 53-man roster. As you guys know, the Atlanta Falcons do have to cut down to 53 players by 4 p.m. Eastern time today. So the first player that I think deserves to be on this roster, and I'm basing this off of the training camp and preseason games of what I actually saw with my own eyes and what I've heard from reports and things of that nature. But mainly I'm going off of my eye test of watching these guys throughout training camp and watching these guys during these preseason games. So the first player that I think deserves to make this 53-man roster that I believe is on the bubble is cornerback Natron Brooks. Natron Brooks is one of those guys that kind of has developed with our Atlanta Falcons organization over the last 2 to 3 years. He stood out last year, playing really well in preseason and actually played in a couple of games last season. He was elevated from the practice squad, but a guy that was flying around last year during the preseason, a guy that caught my eye last year, and then this year he's only elevated his game, came away with an interception in these preseason games, but played well in every single game when he actually got snaps. So I feel like he's one of those guys that's a sure tackler, a guy that's a hustler, and a guy that's willing to do anything they ask him to do. He's a guy that can return kicks, can return punts, can play special teams. So he has a lot of versatility in his game, but he's one of those guys that has got it out of the mud. And I definitely think that he's a guy that deserves to be on this roster. So I think that he will make the 53-man roster, but he's definitely well deserving. The second player on this roster that I believe that deserves to make the 53-man team later today is wide receiver Chris Blair. I know a lot of people have been talking about Kenny Seals possibly being that guy that'll make the roster over Chris Blair. But personally, I think that Chris Blair has outplayed Seals during these preseason games. If you guys look at all of the big plays that Chris Blair has made, outside of the last game where he had a couple of drops, and I felt like he kind of was pressing during that last game, Chris Blair is one of those guys, has been with this Falcons organization over the last couple of years as well, similar to a Natron Brooks, and he has improved and elevated his game every single year, gotten better at route running, got better at catching the football, and also getting yak yardage, and just understanding how to be a professional. You can tell that during the off seasons and things of that nature, that these guys have worked on their craft. So I definitely think that Chris Blair is a guy that deserves to be like that fifth or sixth wide receiver that's on the roster. I mean, I really feel like at the top is pretty much a lock with Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, Cordell Hodge. Those guys are locks. The ones that are on the bubble to me are the Jamal Agnews of the world, he's a special teamer, Chris Blair, Kenny Seals, those guys, Nick Nash, all of those guys are bubble guys. But I really feel like all of the guys that are on the bubble, Chris Blair is the most proven. He's also another guy similar to Natron Brooks that actually played in some live games last year. They did elevate Chris Blair at times, and anytime he was called upon, he came in and he made plays and caught the football, played special teams. So like I said, when you're a glue guy, you got to be a guy that can do it all, can be a utility type player. And that's what Chris Blair brings to the table. So to me, he made big time plays during this preseason, and I think he deserves a roster spot. And the last guy that I think that should make this Atlanta Falcons 53-man roster is Easton Stick, the quarterback. Our third string quarterback. He played really, really well during preseason. He got most of all of the snaps, but he showed that he can execute at a high level. Similar to Chris Blair, he did struggle in that last game, but I really feel like that was due to him playing with a lot of backup players and having a backup offensive line out there and things of that nature. But he proved that he can operate a 2-minute drill. He proved that if it's an emergency situation, if you put him out there with the likes of Bijan Robinson, our starting offensive line, and you put him out there with Drake London and Kyle Pitts and all of those guys, I really feel like he could be a guy that could manage the game for you. He's not going to go out there and win you a whole lot of games, but he is a guy that's mobile enough to run this system. And he showed that he's accurate with throwing the football. He has great chemistry with Chris Blair, which he's shown us throughout the preseason. And to me, he's proven that he deserves to be on this 53-man roster. I really feel like if we put him on the practice squad, another team may, take him off of our practice squad and assign him to their 53-man roster. He's played that well. Now, I did see a stat yesterday that stated that Easton Stick led the NFL in passing yards during the preseason. So that says a whole lot about how well he played throughout the preseason. But I love the execution that I seen out of Easton Stick. He didn't look like the moment was too big for him. Like I did mention in the last game, he did press a little bit in the last game where he was trying to make plays, with his legs and holding on to the football a little bit too long and threw a couple of ill-advised passes. But I really feel like he's a competent quarterback. If you give him the talent around him, he's proven that he can go out there and operate this offense. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on guys that are on the bubble that you feel that should be on this 53-man roster. As I mentioned, it's going to be a really tough 53-man roster and team to make because the Falcons have a lot of talent, had a lot of talent at this training camp, had a lot of talent in these preseason games with guys out there playing. So some of these guys, unfortunately, their dream is going to be cut short later on today. So for those guys that don't make the team, hats off to those guys, for still, going out there and working hard and things of that nature. Maybe they put enough on tape to get signed by another NFL roster or another practice squad. But with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. I will be going live this evening, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So you guys want to definitely join me. I'll be talking about the official 53-man roster because at that point, of course, it will be out. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for your boy. Make sure you continue to hit that like button and share and also comment. But with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.